So today is Thursday, June 15th. I showed up down here in Comal County to the courthouse to see the Commissioners Court commissioners. The Commissioners Court had ended, so the Sheriff Mark Reynolds and his assistant deputy showed up right here and decided they were going to confront me and tag team me in a separate room along with the county judge and the emergency operations coordinator, who specifically says that it's now a combined CERT program between the county and the city, and that they're the only operating CERT organization in the county, and they're only going to be the only allowed operating entity in the county. And I find that very difficult to understand, considering they're going to represent the entire county and be the only operations team in the city of New Braunfels. Now, I know why they're doing it, so they can take the funding and funnel it strictly to the city of San Antonio, which is what's to the city of New Braunfels, which is what's happening with the combined CERT program. They're funneling all that funds into the city of New Braunfels for the city operations center. And first of all, I don't agree with that. I think that's illegal. I think it's deceptive to the community, and I don't find that proper whatsoever. So when I sent a letter to the Sheriff's Office of Comal County requesting that I be aligned under his authority to operate as an independent CERT operator so I could activate in case of a natural disaster or man-made emergency to help the people in my local community where I live out in Siesta Village and the association out there, the response I got from him was, "Thanks, welcome, I'll go ahead and file your name, anything you need, hey, feel free to call." And then I go ahead and set up the association and apply and do everything that I'm supposed to according to the documentation I'd read and seen that said that any person who's voted into office by the constituents of their community and has raised a right hand and sworn an oath of office has the authority to institute a CERT organization according to FEMA and the Citizens Corps' guidelines for CERT Community Emergency Response Team implementation. So I've filed the application under his, using the sheriff as the authority, because I requested to be aligned under his office, and in his response he never said, "No, I can't have that. I can't have you register under me. I don't have that authority," or "No, you can't do that." It was, "Okay, fine. As soon as I get something, I'll file it." So I sent the application. Still waiting on the application, wondering where it is, what's going on. Since then, started the association. Now, the association doesn't run on nothing. These are all personal funds that I've had to put out of my disability pay that I live on Social Security to fund, and the filings, the operational costs, the expenses for documentations, creations, you know, so I'm out money. And how are we going to operate? I can't afford to do this myself. I can just barely afford to take care of myself, much less provide this service to the community. So I filed with the Secretary of State and got the certification stating, or the registration stating I was authorized to solicit funds under the name of the association that I filed and instituted with a DBA, filed it with the county, and now all of a sudden I'm getting told that I'm acting illegally, I'm operating illegally, and that what I'm doing is wrong and fraud and everything else. Slammed by 3 officers and the county judge, instead of being in front of the Commissioner's Court and allowing me to present my statements, introduce the association, what we're instituted for, how I came to be who I am, why I'm operating. None of that, except to be told that I'm not authorized to do what I'm doing. I need to quit and cease it immediately. They never authorized anything. They didn't have the authority to authorize anything. And don't use the county name or the sheriff's name. And they tried to say that I was using the county's name, the sheriff's name, to solicit funds, which isn't the case. And it's just a bunch of crap. So my only alternative now is to wait until next Thursday, be here at 8:30 in the morning, and go in front of the Commissioner's Court and reaffirm I'm not going to resubmit it to them. It'd be the first time. Anyways, I'm going to go in front of the Commissioner's Court and give my testimony as to what's going on, what's happening, what this is all started from. It started from a ticket in Shirts City, and the officer's claiming that I'm illegally soliciting funds so that he can get a city permit a citation to go through the courts, and me to get convicted for a Class C misdemeanor, Class C misdemeanor, Class C. $100 fine. Anyways, this is a bunch of crap. Claiming that my brother told him that I've been arrested before for doing this, and that I'm doing it illegally. I'm not supposed to be doing anything, which isn't the case. So I'm suing the city of Schertz, and I'm suing that officer for defamation, for defaming me, which has caused me this problem. This is where we're at. This is what it's caused me, from this officer making false statements to further his career or further the state's position in this criminal prosecution, or the city's prosecution under a city ordinance, under the auspices of using the state as the vehicle for the conviction, because it's a Class C misdemeanor, even though it's a city ordinance. So, and then specifically when I've got the registration stating that no city ordinances are supposed to be even controlling what I can do, because I'm registered with the state of Texas, but they don't care about that. They say that I didn't have their city permit, and that's the reason for the charge. But the state says I don't need the city permit. No city permit's controlling. No city ordinance are controlling for what I was doing. So here we come into the issue of the city's trying to beat the state, and the city is calling other cities, other city police departments and sheriff's offices, and stating these facts to them that are false. They're meant to deceive, and they are deceiving, and they're defaming me. A defamation of my character, because now the New Braunfels, Comal County, believes that I am illegally doing things in other jurisdictions that I'm not supposed to be. Even tried to assert that I was doing it in Comal County, and I told him, you put me on the stand, I'll raise my right hand and swear under oath that no, I've never done anything in this county under your name, under the sheriff's office's name, or anybody's name other than the association's name, which I'm registered to do. Then the sheriff tries to tell me that no, the state doesn't have that document either, I'm not registered with the state. I said, okay, so the state sealed document that I have from the Secretary of State is illegitimate? He says, yes, it is. And I said, oh, okay. He says, I said, well, that's an issue with the state then, not with me, because I've got the document. And he didn't have a response to that one. So all I can do is come back next week and see the commissioners in front of the commissioners' court, present what's happening to me, state to them the reason for me instituting this program was not to be in competition with the Comal County New Braunfels CERT program, or take any funding, because I know this is about money. This is about them worrying about somebody being able to take funds from their program that they don't want taken from them, because they've already allocated it out, they've already budgeted it, and they've already spent it. I'm sure of that. Okay, because it's the only thing this is about is money. It's always about money. And you know, it's a bunch of crap if you ask me, but that's the way it is. It's about money. So I'm going to report this to the Department of Homeland Security, to FEMA, to the Citizens Corps, exactly what's happening, what's happened, who I am, how New Braunfels can claim to the judge and to the sheriff that I didn't pass a background check, yet I could pass a City of San Antonio background check to drive TNC for Uber, Lyft, and Get Me, and provide services to the community. Obviously, I'm safe enough to let citizens get in my car and drive them wherever they need to go. The city feels that I'm safe enough to do that, but I'm not safe enough to provide emergency response to the citizens of my local community when there's an emergency, even though I'm registered as a FEMA G317. I passed my class, took 20 hours, passed the class, got my certification, and I've been a CERT member since 2010. We're talking almost 8 years now. 8 years. So I know what this is about. This is about money. They don't want money taken from the program that they funneled from the county into the city, so the city can have their program here and buy all the nice stuff that they've got, because they don't have the funding from the city for the program. It's coming from the federal government through FEMA, through the Department of Homeland Security, through the CERT program, to fund their emergency operations here in the city of New Braunfels. And they don't want to have the funds split up or divided or reduced in any way than what's already funneling into the city. Okay, because they've already said it's combined. It's a combined county-city program. It's one program only. And we're talking about a large county in Texas that incorporates a large, like 100 and something thousand square acres. Yeah, so I don't see how one program in the city of New Braunfels can hope to provide the type of emergency response under the CERT program for people who are in Spring Branch, Bulverde, Garden Ridge, which is where I was at, Natural Bridge. There's no way that in that type of response they're going to be able to get out there. There's just too many people for them to serve. Too many. So not only are they limiting the response to the citizens of the county, which could do damage, it's also preventing anything that may be done in the future for getting a response to those people when they need it, and in natural disaster and emergency. So the city is, the county is hampering FEMA. The county is hampering the Community Emergency Response Team the way it was originally designed and formulated to be response in the local community right where you're at, because nobody knows when natural disasters occur. Nobody knows when man-made incidents going to happen. It happens anytime, anywhere. Okay, so where you're at is where you're deploying, where you're helping. So how they can hope to get people from New Braunfels into those parts of the county if it were to happen is beyond me. I can't see it happening. I just can't see it happening. So, like me registering as an independent operator, I'm where I'm at out of my community, so when this happens, I'm able to deploy right then from my house to my neighbors, to my next door neighbors, to the other people in my local area to help them until emergency response arrives. And that's the whole point of the emergency response team. It was first developed in California for earthquakes. Nobody knows when an earthquake is going to happen. Do you think the city of Los Angeles, if they had their CERT program in just one central location, would be able to get to the outlying county and when a major earthquake happens to help those people that need it right then? No. That's the whole reason for the CERT, is so that the people that are there in the community can immediately activate and deploy into their community to provide these services. But I'm being prevented from doing that. I'm being told specifically, flat outright, no, I cannot do it. It's illegal. I can't do it if I operate like that. They'll find a place for me in the county jail, is what the sheriff said. He'll find a place for me down at the jail. Yeah. If that isn't a threat, I don't know what is. All right. So I'm posting this on YouTube. If anybody else feels the same way that this is wrong, please write your Texas State Representative. Let him know that the Community Emergency Response Team is for people in the local community to help their neighbor, not for one city to have a program, getting funds funneled in through the county, so that when an accident or a disaster happens, that they can't get out to the people that need it because there's only that one program and they won't allow anybody else. My name is Mike. Thanks YouTube. Have a good day.